Jones, Pro Football Hall of Famer, top 100.
Tyler Lockett from the Seattle Seahawks.
DK Metcalf.
Today, Burleson, you're watching NorbCam.
NorbCam.
You're watching Norb.
What's up, everybody? This is NorbCam coming at you with one of my favorite sessions or favorite segments I get to do, the Ask Norb segment. This is where I don't have to prepare anything. There's no show, no material that I have to prep. It's all about taking your questions and answering whatever you got for me. So I love this. I love doing this. This has been a while. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys have in store for me. I will be taking questions. The best way to get a question out to me is right there. If you go to my the Norb Core Discord and then jump on the Ask Norb channel, you can put 2 questions for me there. And I'm going to just scroll through them for the next hour, whatever I can get through in the next hour or so. I'm going to just answer those questions. And if there's time, I'll also look to the chat, especially super chats that definitely get my attention. And we'll see how far we get. I don't think I've ever gotten through all the questions. I'm not sure every time I've done this, so we'll see how it goes this time. So before we jump into it, I just want to remind everybody, I would love it if you could smash the like button over there, hit that subscribe button, and ding! Hit that little bell. That would do wonders for my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And I just want to do a quick shout out to the NorbFam members. Thank you guys for your support on my channel. Nick LeBeau, Jesse Duckface, Anthony D, Ryker, Rockstar, Lori Cross, and Maria Maraj, Jason E, BJ, NINJA-CRK, IB Dave Jones, and Gavin Murphy. All right, so this is how it's going to work. This is, for those of you who are new, this is the Discord interface. And if you see right there, that's the, where is it? Right in my head. Right there. That's the Ask Norb text channel. And this is where you post your questions. All right. And I want to thank the Discord staff guys for setting this up, putting this together for me. And let's do it. All right. We'll start right from the top. Let's scroll back a little bit here to the top. All right. So there we go. As Stealthy says right here, limited to the 2 questions. Stealthy, thank you for helping organize this. We'll start right off. Ask Norb. Oh, yeah. I used to have my little Ask Norb button. Do I still have that? I know I had a button that did that. It goes like this. No, it doesn't. I forgot to prep that. I had this cool little Ask Norb video clip, but I didn't prep it because I had some changes to my hard drive, so I'm going to have to just go without. We'll just read it as we go along. All right. First question is from the Pencil Portal. His 2 questions are, how do you feel about the draft? And will Kerry Hyder be a top 20 defensive tackle this season? The first one, I'd say I feel pretty good considering we only got 3 guys. That I thought we hit pretty well. That we addressed the 3 needs that I thought we had: cornerback, wide receiver, and offensive line. They hit all 3, maybe not in the order that I was thinking, but the more, again, like everybody, nobody really had these guys on their boards. But then the more we start doing our research, the more I talk to the guys on the round table and Coach Marsh, I learned to really start appreciating who these guys are and what they can bring to this Seahawks team. So I'm very excited about the draft. Feel pretty good about it. And will Kerry Hyder, our free agent acquisition defensive end, be a top 20 defensive tackle? Was he tackle? Oh, I guess he was tackle. I thought he was a pass rusher. Will he be a top 20 defensive tackle this year? Let's see. I did take the liberty to pull up Kerry Hyder. Where is he at? There we go. Kerry Hyder. So he's played for 6 seasons so far, and his best years was his 3rd year with the Detroit Lions. Had 8 sacks, played 16 games, and then he moved to Dallas where he played 16 games, only 1 sack there. But the number that intrigues me here is in 2020, last year with the 49ers. Played 16 games, started 14 of them, 8.5 sacks. You got to kind of like that. And what I really like too is this 2 numbers right here. The last 2 years, played all 16 games. Now that we got a 17-game season, health and ability to endure the entire season is a big thing. So hopefully he can keep that trend up. But will he be top 20? I don't know if I could say top 20, but I think he'll be right behind Carlos Dunlap in terms of pass rush and sacks for the Seattle Seahawks. That's kind of my hope. My hope is that it won't be Jamal Adams this year leading the pass rush. I'm hoping it's going to be Carlos Dunlap for the entire season and Kerry Hyder right behind him. So that's my hope for this year. Let's go to the next question. Let's see. Stealthy has the next question. Is, do you like Doritos? And how did you know you liked the Seahawks when you started watching football? Okay. I love Doritos. I kind of like any flavor of Doritos, but my top choice if I'm just walking down the chip aisle and I'm looking and then Doritos nacho cheese standard is always going to be good for me. I can't go wrong. You get the orangey seasoning, salty stuff on your fingers and lick that stuff up. So good. Great stuff like on a picnic or whatever. That's my go-to for sure. But I like also the Cool Ranch flavor's good. Pretty much I love any chip really. But Doritos nacho cheese can't go wrong. Do I believe? Oh, sorry. How did you know you liked the Seahawks when you started watching football? Actually, I didn't know about the Seahawks when I first started watching football. My first kind of team that I grew interest in was actually the Dallas Cowboys. And this is quite a few years ago. I was in elementary school. And the reason I got interested in the Dallas Cowboys were three things. They had a quarterback by the name of Roger Staubach, however you want to pronounce it. And I was watching a sci-fi show called Battlestar Galactica back in that time. Look it up and you'll see how long ago this was. And they had a character on there named Starbuck. And Starbuck sounded awfully a lot like Staubach. So I thought, well, that's kind of cool. He sounds like my Battlestar Galactica dude. So I started following the Cowboys. And they did this cool thing where every time before they would snap, the offensive line would start with their hands on their knees, and then they do this flex move where they stand up and then go in the three-point stance. And no other team did that. So I thought that was kind of cool what they did. And then they were also one of the few teams that did shotgun formation back then as well. I think more under Danny White, the quarterback who came in after Staubach. But I remember rooting for them in the Super Bowl against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they lost. But then shortly after that, I discovered, Seattle's got a team. Well, let's find out who these Seahawks are all about. And after that, it was all Seahawks the rest of the way. So I had a brief little stint as sort of, I'm going to call myself a Cowboy fan. I just happened to find interest in the Cowboys and rooted for them in that Super Bowl, first one I watched. And that's it. That's how I became a Seahawks fan. I was a homer ever since. And so it was all about the Seahawks, the Sonics, and the Mariners. And I knew there was a Sounders team, but I didn't really care about soccer, so I didn't really follow it, nor did I really follow hockey either. I think we had the Seattle Breakers at the time. But, it was always about those three teams. All right, next question is from Leader Empathetic. Says, what is your prediction for the Seahawks record in 2021? And two, do you believe that Richard Sherman will come back to Seattle this year? Okay, for the first one, I've not really put out an official prediction yet. We're going to definitely do that as a group at our roundtable next Wednesday when they come out with the schedule. I think the schedule is going to come out right around the time we do our show, or maybe slightly before. So we're going to be breaking it down, talking about it. So I'll say this, preface my statement by saying this. If I throw out a record, it doesn't really count. It's not official until I do my season prediction music video, which comes out right before the season starts. To me, that's my actual prediction that I'm putting my name onto and saying, this is my official predictions. Here's my unofficial prediction, because it's so early. We're only in May. It's too early to know much about what this team looks like. So I would say right now, and again, it's a 17-game season, so the numbers have to add up to 17, which is weird. It's going to take a while to get used to that. We're so used to getting numbers to add up to 16. I'm going to say right now, it's a tough division, a lot of changes, new quarterback faces, but I'm going to say roughly right now, 11-6 is going to be my rough guesstimate. Without any logic to it, it's just a total feel thing, 11-6. Hopefully that will change as I start to get to know this team and really start to see what we got, getting closer to training camp and preseason and all that. Okay, next question comes from Hiroshi. It says, do you think our rush defense will be top 10 in the NFL this season? And what is your favorite Avengers movie out of the four? Aren't there more than four? I thought there was a bunch. I guess I'm thinking of the whole Marvel universe. Let's see. Number one, do you think our rush defense will be top 10? Our rush defense. Our rush defense, will it be top 10 this year? Boy, there's so many question marks. New faces at cornerback. Jamal Adams is going to be key on run defense. I see him playing a lot of kind of a strong safety position. Darrell Taylor is going to be in there. So a lot of potential, but a lot unproven. So, D-line, we lost Jaron Reed. So a lot of guys Puna Ford's got to step up. And the aforementioned Kerry Hyder and Carlos Dunlap, and all these, Rasheem Green, all these guys are going to have to really step up. Well, can we be top 10 in the NFL? Man, there's a lot of good teams with really strong defensive lines, a couple of them in our very own division. I'd like to hope that we are in the top 10. I'd say we're going to be right outside the top 10. I'd say we're going to be 11. We're going to be kissing the edge of top 10, but not quite in the top 10 mode, but really close. That's my guess. What's my favorite Avengers movie out of the 4? So, shoot, I can't remember what are the names of them. What are the names of the Avengers movies? I know that there's the last one was I'm so terrible about these Avengers Marvel movies. Let's see. I have to actually look it up. That's how sad my knowledge of these movies are. Somebody tell me what the names of the movies are. I know that there's I can't even think of them. Avengers Infinity War. Yes, there's Infinity War. And then, what's the other one? Isn't Infinity War the last one? Endgame. Endgame's the last one. Thank you on the chat. I think my favorite one would be Infinity War. Isn't that the one where everybody turns to ashes and floats away? I think it's that one, just because I love dark endings. I love movies that have not happy, typical, predictable endings. And when everybody disappeared into ashes, I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And the girls got emotional, had tears because of Spider-Man. I'm scared. It was very emotional. So, yeah, I'd probably say Infinity War. That's probably my favorite one. Okay, let's continue. Next question comes from Kona Abbey, one of the staff. If you were stranded on an island and you can only bring 3 celebrities on the island with you, who would you bring? Oh, jeez. Wow. And does this mean I wouldn't have my family with me? Like I'm by myself, alone, and with 3 celebrities only? Is that what I'm getting at? I guess because the question is just kind of, you have to kind of break it down, because if I'm alone and I don't have my family with me, that means I would want somebody who I could have some human companionship with, as in, no longer having my wife with me. Is that the scenario? That, I guess the question is, that's pretty deep. It's hard to fathom that. 3 celebrities. So you'd want to have 3 people who could make for the most company. And you'd want to have somebody, again, if you don't have somebody who's going to be someone you could share a lot of fun bonding stuff, so that you're always got a buddy to do something cool with. And then you want to have somebody, who can help you survive, who's like really smart with things, and I'm assuming on a desert island, you're going to need to survive. So I need somebody who can help make sure we, can have a camp that lasts. And then you need some kind of female companionship. You need somebody who, you got to have that, to have your needs met, So, boy, that's a really good question. But okay, my first one would be from a surviving standpoint. First thing that comes to mind is that dude who did the thing with Marshawn Lynch about surviving, just because I love that episode. What's his name? Bear Grylls. Just because of the survival aspect. That guy's entertaining, plus he knows how to survive, so I need him to help me survive. Okay, so that's the survival side of it. Then I need somebody who'd be like fun to hang out with and, would always keep things kind of entertaining and you can do some fun things with. Boy, this is really tough. This is a really good question. And of course, my first thought, because I'm in football mode and I think of Bear Grylls and I think of Marshawn Lynch, I think, man, he'd be funny. He'd be hilarious. He's a smart guy. Again, seems like he'd be a dude you'd never be bored with. So Bear Grylls, Marshawn Lynch. And then you'd have to have somebody, got to have some female company. If again, I don't have any of my family with me and I'm stuck on a desert island, who would that be? Well, how can I answer this without getting in trouble or something? Who would that be? Dang, this is a tough one. Have to be someone who's cool. Doesn't seem like they'd be like a pain. They'd be, you got to think long term. It's got to be someone you could hang with and not you can't get on each other's nerves, or you'd be like on this island hating each other, right? So you have to be someone not just attractive, but somebody who's got a good personality, who's, seems like they'd be really cool to chill out with. Anthony D says, hey, but I'm off work waiting for my ride. Hope the Hawks go to the Super Bowl this year. Plus, please add Olivia Holt to your songs and bring me to sing with you, bro. That's a lot of requests right there. I'll see what I can do. Boy, I'm really, I have not even thought this question through. I'm going to get back to you on that one. That's too much. That's a tough one. I had not thought about that. All right. I will get back. I'll let my brain think about that one, and I'll get back to it, hopefully. Remind me if I forget. Okay. What's your go-to gas station items? From Ninja, the question from Ninja. What's your go-to gas station items? You mean like if I go to the snack? You're talking about like if I go to an AMPM Mini Mart and I get snacks at the gas station? Well, if I'm going to the gas station, I got to get gas. So that's number one. But then if I'm going in to get some snacks, I got to get a candy bar, Twix, Snickers bar, and then I'll probably get like a Slurpee or a Slushie or something. I haven't had Slurpee in a while. So yeah, gas, Slurpee, and a Snickers bar. Those are the three things. I assume that's what you're asking. Got to get gas and those stuff. Next question is from ELFS ranked anime protagonist. Do you like Minecraft? Yeah, I like Minecraft. I don't really play it. I tried it, and I was really bad at it, so I thought, it's going to take me forever to learn how to play this game. So I just watched my kids do it, and they would play it. They don't play it as much anymore, but they used to play it a lot. So I used to get a good kick out of watching them play Minecraft. I can hear them in the background. Just got home. Watch them play. So I got my enjoyment watching them build stuff and play their Hunger Games stuff and all that. So entertaining. I just never got into playing it myself. Okay, next question. Fanta equals cool kid juice. What's your favorite candy or chocolate? Oh, I just kind of answered that, didn't I? Well, so here's one of my favorites. I love Nerds. I was just munching on some earlier. I love Nerds. I'm going to eat some right now on the show. Ask Norb, brought to you by Nerds. So I love Nerds. I love all kinds of chocolate, but like I said, the go-to. There's another AMSR. Oh, if I had some Pop Rocks, that'd be awesome, wouldn't it? All right. Snickers, Twix bars. Those are always a go-to. I like Three Musketeers, actually. Milky Way. Kit Kat. So those are kind of solid. Can never go wrong there. Okay. Sweet Tarts, too. I love Sweet Tarts. All right, next question. From Sky High Aviation. What's your celebrity crush, and when is GTA coming? Boy, everyone wants to know about this whole. And I'm stumped on the whole GTA crush. My celebrity crush. I mean, I guess that kind of goes back to that question of who I want. If I was stranded on a desert island, I didn't have any of my family with me. I was all by myself. I'm still processing that one. I'm still thinking. I still can't come up with a good answer. It's a tough one. I have to get back to you on that one. GTA. Soon, before the season starts, because I do want to do it, and I had some trepidation about doing it because people were bringing up, well, what are you going to do about the language and the violence, and because there's kids who are under the age that you're supposed to be to watch Grand Theft Auto. But I know a lot of people post things, GTA gameplay, so I don't know how they get away with it, but I don't want to get in trouble with anybody's folks. If your folks find out, why is Norb posting all these Grand Theft Audio videos with profanity and all this kind of stuff? I don't want to get in trouble on that. So, Anthony D. back again with a super chat says, if you decided to add my vocals, what should I do? I'm not there yet. I haven't even thought of the songs I'm going to do yet. So maybe you should sing Olivia Holt since you're such a big fan of hers. Can you sing like a girl? That would be interesting. I'll have to think. Boomer says, Norb don't want to get whooped. What are we talking about here? No, I'm prepared to get whooped. I'm ready. Okay, next question. From Adil. Acknowledge me, Madden King. Okay. I was going to tell you that you should switch to classic mode in the face of the franchise because you will not be a starter till like 4 seasons and will sim to 2024. Then you'll be starter over Russell Wilson. Also, you'll be able to play all games, all games like you do in franchise mode instead of 2 games a season. I suggest you switch to classic mode, and I bet Nick or the commentary team could teach you while you play. I saw some other people saying about switching to that mode. Can I switch after I've already started it? That's what I'm wondering, because I've already kind of, in our last session, kind of set the games up, and I was about ready to start the rookie season. I don't know if I can do that. But if everybody thinks that that's the way to go, then we should do it. I mean, I don't want to wait 4 years. I mean, I don't have to wait 4 years before I can play, do I? If that's what it means, 2024. I have to wait, 3 years? 2001, 2, 3. Wait 3 years before I can play? That would kind of suck.
Somebody wanted to know about Catastamo. So here I am. We're going to kick Seattle's butt because we're going to get another quarterback. And Jimmy G will play for a while. And then some other guy might come in, and that's okay. I still got my Jimmy G poster over my bed. You know what I mean? Yeah.
All right. Let's continue. It says, Rishi says, I can only win the Super Bowl on rookie or pro difficulty. And Seahawks Martin says, you can do that, Norb. Okay, that's good to know I can do that. You can do that. All right, this is from Sonic Depressed. What was your favorite season as a Seattle Seahawks fan? What was the best moments from that season for you? Well, kind of a easy question, right? The year that you won your 1 Super Bowl, it's kind of hard to not say that was your favorite season because it ended on a happy note. That's one time I actually do want the happy ending, not the sad, dark ending like I do normally in movies. But so 2013, 2014, of course, because we won the Super Bowl. Favorite moments from that season, I think all the comebacks we had, starting with the one where I started my YouTube channel with that Buccaneers game was a great comeback. And then the comeback against the Houston Texans, I think, was a great one too. And let's see, what else? Anthony D, back again with the super chat. So, okay, if you add my vocals to your music videos, you on. Okay. All right, we'll see. We'll see what we can do. It's technically challenging, but we will see what we can do there. So, yeah, the comeback against the Texans where Richard Sherman got the interception, lost his shoe. I mean, that was a great game because it was looking so much like we were going to lose. And then we won. Of course, the game against the Saints in the divisional, the game against the 49ers with the tip and sending us off to the Super Bowl. And then, of course, Super Bowl itself, going on that trip with my dad is a trip of a lifetime. And hopefully we can do it again. We got to do it again soon. If we are, and travel one more time together, at least to the Super Bowl, wherever that may be. Maybe it's in Los Angeles. Maybe we'll travel down the coast to LA. It's a shorter trip. Could even drive there. All right. So was that it for the questions, I think? Yeah, that was. Okay. Criminella. Top 3 MVP candidates for this upcoming season. Best rookies for this upcoming season. Wow. Jeez. Top 3 MVP candidates. Well, you've always got to put... Aaron Rodgers was good last year, and we don't know where he's going to play. Looks like he's not happy about going back to the Packers, so somebody else could pick him up, and he could do the Tom Brady thing. So I think you got to give Aaron Rodgers always that possibility. Wilson was in the race for a while, and I'm going to say he's going to be even better this year because he's not going to have that hot start and cold finish. I think he's just going to be really, very warm the entire time. And occasionally hot, and this will be his first real, true, strong MVP campaign. So then the third one, that's the big question: who's going to be the third one? Who's going to be the third MVP? Could it be Tom Brady? I mean, everybody seems to be picking the Buccaneers to repeat again, and he's got pretty much all his weapons back. He wasn't MVP last year. I still contend that he got lucky, that he was more lucky than great, but. He could be in the mix next year as well. So I guess it's a quarterback-driven league, quarterback MVPs. Why not go with the old guys? That's going to be Rodgers, Brady, and Russell Wilson in the race for it. Let's see. What was that? Oh, rookies, best rookies. I haven't paid attention to all the rookies, so I don't feel like I have a good sense of who the best rookies are going to be. I don't feel like I can answer that question very well. But I would like to think for the Seahawks, I think that Dwayne Eskridge is going to be the standout rookie. I feel like all the tape I've seen of him and the breakdowns that the fellas have done, I'm really excited to see this guy. And I feel like he's going to be the guy who's going to stand out and be the guy who could be in the running for Rookie of the Year for the Seahawks in that very loaded wide receiver room right now. So, next question. Let's go to Nelson X90. Hello, Norb. First, do you believe that now our O-line has some holes fixed, we are good to make a long playoff run? And 2, the Seahawks are now easily a top 8 team due to our D-line being fixed and looking scary. New corners, Jamal Adams, Bobby, and we clearly only need another linebacker if KJ doesn't return. And our offense with a new line, Russ in a quarterback, Chris Carson back in the backfield, and new wide receivers and tight ends. That's a long question. So to break it down, number 1, do you believe that our O-line has some holes fixed? Yes, I do. I think our biggest hole was our left guard with Mike Iupati. He was up there and he was injury prone and really wasn't playing all that great. And now we got Gabe Jackson in there. So you got Damian Lewis in his second year, Gabe Jackson, who's been playing for a while, solid. We've got Dwayne Brown plus his backup to be in there in the mix, Brandon Shell. Maybe those two can compete. Barring injury, even with injuries, we've got good guys behind them. So I feel really good that they've done some great things and didn't blow up the whole offensive line and start over, because I think that would have been a mistake to do. So you got to have some continuity, and you need these guys to play together. So I love the fact that we've got, and then at center, Ethan Posick, I think he gets a lot of flack because he played actually better than I think people give him credit for. So, I think we have a good line, and the fact that we have 3 or 4 guys returning is good, and they just got picked up in a couple extras. So I feel really good about the line. And then number 2, are we a top 8 team? Seahawks now easily a top 8 team. Yeah, I'd say so. I'm still putting them near the top of the West. And if you're in the top of your division, you're already immediately put into the top 8 by default. So even if you're second best in your division, which is very possible too, given how tight things are, we would still be a top 8 team. I guess if you're talking about the NFC. If you're top in your division, you're top 8 in the entire NFL. So I'm gonna stick my nose out there on the line and on a limb and say that the Seahawks are a top 8 team, because I think they're gonna win the West. Next question. This was going to be Madden God. What do you think about the Rodgers stuff going on with the Packers right now? I think it's great. I'm just glad it's no longer Russell, because we went through this already like 2 months, right after the Super Bowl, hearing about it for 2 straight months. So I'm glad someone else can deal with it, and it's a lot worse. What they got going on in Green Bay is a lot worse than anything that ever happened with Russell Wilson. Sounds familiar, but it sounds like Rodgers is saying a lot more direct things that Russell never actually said. Russell never actually said the words, "I don't want to play for the Seahawks." That never came out of anybody's mouth. The closest they got to was, if we were to be traded, here's the teams I'd be interested in. So that's the only thing they've ever said, but that was if, a big if. But you never actually heard Russell say anything directly about not playing. So, and again, I think it seems like everybody feels like Aaron Rodgers is not going to be taking another snap with the Packers. We'll see if that's true, or if they get something hammered out. But right now, the drama is flying high, and everyone's speculating. But I guess riding what the tea leaves, it seems like Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to be back. So we'll see. Northwest Football FC and YouTube. Oh yeah, this is our lucky winner of the basketball, Joshua Ngo. What is your second favorite team in football? And will you ever try to answer trivia yourself on the round table? I don't have a second favorite team. My second favorite team is the team that on the day that they play, if they win and it'll help us out, they would be my second favorite team at that moment. So I really don't have a second. I don't really understand how people have second teams that they really truly call like their favorite team. There are teams that don't bug me as much as other teams do, but I don't have a second favorite, like who I root for, who I would have like Seahawks gear over here and then a set of other team's gear over here. I can't fathom it. I feel like I'm betraying my team if I ever rooted for them. The only time I would root for them is like, oh, if they win, that's going to put the Seahawks in first place in our division and secure the West. So that's the only time I'm going to be rooting for you. Go Niners! If that's going to help us out. So that's it. Will I ever try to answer trivia myself? I've done it before. I'm horrible. I'll probably be worse than you, which would be tough to do because you only had one correct answer on your trivia answer. But I'm pretty bad. So I like being the Jeopardy host, not the Jeopardy contestant, if you know what I mean. But I might just to mix things up. Seattle Seahawks 23. Do you have a Nintendo Switch? I do not. Sorry, I do not. Del Curry. Who is your favorite basketball player of all time? Oh man. I'm going to play major homer here. And this is going to be seriously, Seattle Supersonics based, but I really enjoyed having Sean Kemp when they were at the peak, when in the early 90s to the mid 90s, when Gary Payton and Sean Kemp were a tandem, man, they were so much fun to watch. I love watching Sean Kemp play. And yeah, he wasn't as great as the greats that are out there, the Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, of course. These guys you hold them up in a whole different class by themselves, LeBron James. But in terms of who I just loved watching play with Sean Kemp, man, it just, the way he would dunk and it was like the Cam Chancellor of Sonics basketball. Loved it. All right, next question. Childish Albino. Do you think Aldon Smith gets cleared and plays for us this year at all? At all. I'm going to say no. If Josh Gordon, who didn't really hurt anybody, can't get on the field, it's almost messed up if Aldon Smith can actually be, and with all the stuff he's done, to be allowed to play. Of course, I would applaud it and be, all right, cool, he can contribute. But it's almost like from a human being standpoint, it almost feels like it wouldn't be right for him to be playing and have Josh Gordon not play, just as a comparison. It just seems crazy. NJ Devils fan 68069. Are you going to watch the NHL expansion draft for the Seattle Kraken? I'm going to watch the draft. Probably not. I'll probably look at the results, but I don't know anything about hockey. So I wouldn't. You could name 10 of the top players, and I wouldn't even know half of them, or might even know any of them. So why would I watch a draft of players I have known nothing about? I will be one of those very casual, distant observers, like I am with soccer, and just kind of seeing how they're doing. Keep an eye on the scores and the record. And if I have the ability to go to a game, I will definitely jump on it. But I expect it's going to be very expensive, so I probably won't be going to many Kraken games. But I will definitely, if it's on TV or, I have a chance to watch it and take it in and root for them, I'm certainly going to be rooting for them. And if they can do some great things and get into the playoffs and all that, it'd be awesome. So, but yeah, it's hard to get excited about a sport that I just never really watched. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Andrew Andy from Georgia. Hey Norb, to letting you know about your music video prediction 2021, I've sent you this link of my favorite song, Blue Skies by Sam Rock, featuring Conley for your Seahawks music vid. Maybe if you could listen to the song after your Astro questions. See you later. Go Hawks. All right. Thanks for sending that. I will take a look, and I will also be asking you guys for your song suggestions for this year's music prediction video. I always do that to get cool ideas of what's hot out there. What do you guys want to hear, And then if I think it'll fit, then I'll do it. Okay, next question. How are we doing here? Am I even close? What notable vets do you think Seattle could sign/trade for? What notable vets do you think Seattle could sign/trade for? Notable vets that are actually available? That's tough because there's just not a lot of, most of the vets who would be of potential have already been, out there. I'm just hoping, I just hope they can get KJ right back here. To me, that would be re-signing a notable vet. I hope they can find a way to get him his deal done. But we'll see. Next one. Knight says, favorite food? Man, I've had this asked before. It's so hard because it's just like asking what's your favorite movie, like all time. Because there's so many times. Sometimes it's just the day. Your favorite food changes from day to day, right? Because some days like I'm hankering for some pizza. Another day, I'm hankering for some pasta, some lasagna. I'm hankering for some Filipino food. Barbecue sounds really good right now. Some steak. But I would probably another Mexican food for that matter. But I think no matter what, anytime somebody says, "Hey, let's go to you want to get some Italian?" It's always a sure thing that it's going to be. There's never a bad day for Italian because you go to an Italian restaurant and pizza sounds good, pasta sounds good. So I'll probably lean on the Italian side and go with a pasta. That's always a surefire winner. So spaghetti, linguine, fettuccine, any is great. So I'll probably go with that. Just say pasta. Rain, or Rickson as it's spelled. How's Mama Blue? Are you going to still stream the games from home this season, or are you going out? Or maybe the Seahawks could give you your own office and you could do both. Yeah, that would be something. Mama Blue is doing well health-wise. She's she had been getting through all of her cancer treatments, and last I spoke to her, it's been a couple weeks now, but she health-wise was doing all right. Actually, the unfortunate thing she was dealing with is that her son passed away a few weeks ago, and she was really struggling with that, and we were concerned about that because sometimes when you have that emotional or mental hit, sometimes that affects the rest of your body. So that is something that we're trying to keep her spirits up, and we just don't want her to take a negative turn because of her emotional state. Because it's never. Anytime you lose someone in your family, especially you lose someone, a child, you're not supposed to have to experience that. So really feel for her, and I know she's hanging in there, but it's tough. It's tough for her. So I'm hoping that she can continue to keep her fighting spirit and not let this get her down too much. So Mama Blue, hang in there. I want to see you in the stadium in a few months. And about the games. If the stadium does allow fans back in, I've already got money down on this season. So if they will have home games, I will be there and doing it like old style with streaming from inside the stadium. So yes, it will go back to that if they will have us in there. Paul Third says in the super chat, my wife makes great adobo chicken. Ooh, that's another one. Yeah, on the right day, I love adobo, man. One of the staples of Philippine cuisine. Okay. Jaden, 219. Who do you think will have the worst record in the NFL next season? Whew. Well, it's not going to be the teams that have been the worst lately. It's not going to be... likely won't be the Jaguars. The Browns have kind of risen up from the depths. Jets should be better if they do some smart moves. They did fire their coach, so things should be changing there. So who does that leave? Who are the worst teams? Houston Texans are a mess. I'm going to say the Texans right now. Texans are a hot mess. Them or the Bengals, one of those two teams. I'll go Texans. You can't solve your quarterback problems. I mean, that's bad. Okay, next question. From Aidan Pham. Doug Baldwin or DK Metcalf? Who do you prefer? Ooh. So much of it depends on when you're asking that question. Like, Doug Baldwin, it's like if I could have Doug Baldwin peak of career, I would pick Doug Baldwin. But in terms of potential and the guy who obviously is inserted now, he is on the precipice of going from really good to great and could get to being the greatest if he can put everything together. So I would say right now I'm going to put my chips down that DK Metcalf's going to figure things out, and he's going to be on the path to great. So I'm going to go DK Metcalf as of right now. Doug Baldwin, if you put him when at the peak of his, I'll take that. But DK Metcalf, because I think in the future, I think that prophecy, that thing that Russell Wilson at one point he talked about, it's going to be like Joe Montana, Jerry Rice combination. That's a bold thing to say, but now with this new offense that they're putting in, that's very much like the Joe Montana, Jerry Rice days. We could be seeing a rebirth of that if they can put it together, and if DK Metcalf could start putting little things together, because he's already a great human being specimen, but he needs to do those little things, and if you do that, he could be awesome. So I like the potential. Let's go DK on that one. Ivan the Hawk wants to know, what are your other jobs besides YouTube? Well, I do. My regular job is very similar to what I do on YouTube. I actually have my company. It's a production company called Quantum Productions with Mike Lorraine, who's 80s Broncos fan. And we've been in business 25 years. In April, we celebrate 25 years in business together. And we make videos. I do music. I do narration. I do spokesperson type things. So it's kind of a lot of what I do in YouTube. It crosses over, except we get hired by companies to do videos for them. So that's not that different from what I do for YouTube. YouTube is just my own thing, but we do get hired by other companies to do videos for them. CY Plays YT. Do you think the Seahawks are Super Bowl contenders? Absolutely. Yes, they are. The pieces are there, and now it's the big bet is, can Shane Waldron transform this offense with Russell Wilson into what could be one of the best offenses in the NFL? That's the big if. If that is a go, we're big time in that realm. If it's not working for whatever reason, they're going to have a problem. Nick LeBeau says, thoughts on the new number rule? By the way, Quandre Diggs announced he'll be wearing number 6. Yeah, I'm okay with it. It'll take a little getting used to, because, you kind of get used to certain numbers being on certain players. But, we've seen running backs or 20s, and sometimes it'll be defensive backs or 20s, and you're used to linebackers being 50s and linemen being 60s and 70s. And, so it'll be a little bit weird for some of these, but, it's like you get used to it. Like, I remember Doug Baldwin, when he first came out, he was number 15, and then he turned to 89. We all got used to that. So Quandre Diggs, whether he's 37 or number 6, as long as he's laying guys out and picking balls off, I really don't care what number they are. It all works for me. Just have to get a little used to the visual. Pick me Seahawks for life. Hey, Norb, after this video, can you look at my lyrics of my version Shallow by Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga in the comments? Make it into a music video. And also, can we do a Moments video on Madden, even if it is Coach Marsh on Coach's Corner, or Music Save Your Tears by The Weeknd is also a good one for 2021. Future predictions, also classic mode. The franchise is going to take so long that it would not be fun. And also, you don't get the storyline in classic franchise. Like, at a point, you can try to be on the cover on the game, which who wouldn't want to be on the cover? But upgrade is a lot. Well, it's a lot of stuff right there. I'll take a look. I always take a look at anything that you guys send me. But I did already do Shallow a couple years ago by Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. So I try not to repeat songs. I want to keep it fresh, and not because there's so many songs out there. I don't want to repeat when there's so many to be had. So I would probably not lean towards that, just because, again, I don't want to repeat something. But I'll take a look at the other one that you've got as well. Continuing, Jury says, oh wow, we're near the end. Why did you start YouTube? From 0 to 100, grade the Seahawks draft picks, also taking into consideration the other options they could have picked. Okay. Why did you start YouTube? I talked a little bit about that already earlier when I talked about the 2013 season. That was when it started, and it was at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game. I've told this story many times, but for those of you who haven't heard it, this is the short version. So we were down, I think it was 21-0 at the half, and I think the Buccaneers were undefeated, or were winless, and we were undefeated at the time, or at least very dominantly ahead of thinking this was going to be a blowout win, and we were down double digits, wondering what the heck was going on with our team. And then we came back, and then we were on an overtime drive, getting ready to punch in or get the winning field goal. And I thought, oh man, this is going to be the biggest comeback of all time. I need to record this for myself. So I pulled out my phone. I think it was a phone, so a really old iPhone, and just recorded the moment so that I would have a record of what it was like to be in the building when that happened. And we won. It was cool. And I was like, all right, yeah, I recorded it. And then I proceeded to put it on YouTube and threw on a perspective of the camera and called it NorbCam, just on a whim. Hey, NorbCam. And that stuck. And then people wanted to see more videos like that. And lo and behold, we went to the playoffs, NFC Championship, and then eventually the Super Bowl, and made the video of that journey. And that's really what kind of got everything started. So it was not a big plan, master plan of I'm going to start this channel and do all this stuff. It was just on a whim, decided to do this reaction video, and it just sort of took off from there. And then from 0 to 100, grade the Seahawks draft picks, also taking into consideration the other options that they had. So I would probably say start with the first one, Dwayne Eskridge, I guess from a 0 to 100, you're saying 0 to 100? I'm going to go with 92. 92. I think that's how good this guy is. And then with Trey, what's his name? Trey Brown, cornerback. Trey Brown, I would say drop a little bit, but not by much. 85 for him. And then the steal of the draft, the big dude, Stone Forsythe. Let's give him. I think it's one of those things that, you never really get excited about linemen because that's not the position jobs that you score touchdowns on, but it's such a big part of it. I'm going to put him a nudge ahead. I'm going to 93 for Mr. Forsythe. Going to protect Wilson. And then maybe not even just this year per se, but long term that he'll be that solution. Maybe not quite Walter Jones type level, but up there to where it's like, man, we haven't had an offensive tackle this good in it's Walter Jones. So I'm hoping he'll become that. So 93 right there. And Tyler Parcher says, Norb, you're going to be in the Delta Sky Club for any Seahawks games this year. Also, a song for your music video should be the Get Up by Blanco Brown. Okay, I'll check that out, see if that works. And if I go, yes, I definitely will be going to the Delta Sky Club, assuming that they have fans in the stands, because my buddy Mark always hooks me up with Sky Club passes, so I definitely will end up going, I'm sure, more than a few times this year. Okay, what time is it anyway? How are we doing here? 5:40. I got about 15 minutes left. From BJ, when will the Sonics come back to Seattle, and how bad do you want them back? 2, list which Seahawks player to start, bench, or cut. Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, Jamal Adams. And 3, why can't you trust Stairs because they're always up to something? Okay, when will the Sonics come back? I have no idea. It sounds like they're getting closer, but I've heard close calls before, so I'm not going to even try to speculate on a timeline. I'd like to say, though, that they'll be back before my lifetime is over. So that's a long time. So hopefully it'll be sooner than that, so I can actually see it happen. But I'm not insanely crazy. I became very disenchanted with the NBA after the Sonics left. It's going to take a while for me to warm back up to a team coming back. I will be excited because I think it's good for the city, and I will slowly warm up to it. I'll warm up to it faster than I will soccer or hockey, whatever will get me warmed up, because I do like basketball, and when the team comes back, I'll definitely get more into it. 2, list which Seahawks player to start, bench, or cut. Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, or Jamal Adams. Start. I have to start, bench, or cut one of these 3 guys. List which Seahawks player to start, bench, cut. I don't quite understand it because I have to do one with each of them. Well, Russell Wilson, you have to start him. I wouldn't cut any of these guys or bench them, but I'm not sure if that means I have to take one. But I guess if I have to rank it, I would go Russell, DK, Jamal, I guess. It's a tough question. I don't like the question, but that's, I guess, if I had to rank the importance, Russell, DK, Jamal. Yeah, boy, I almost put Jamal in front of DK. Tough. The offense has to be there. Russell, DK, Jamal. I'm just putting that order. Okay, next question. Casey Sportsnerd, what's up? What are you going to be doing for the schedule release next Wednesday? Roundtable review? Yep, we're going to do a roundtable review. We'll kind of just look at it, break it down, probably do a little bit of a prediction, like a game-by-game type of thing, and see how everybody's predictions shake out. That'll be fun. Motor City says, will the Lions be a playoff team in 2023? Boy, a big part of it depends if Aaron Rodgers is going to be back with the Packers. If he's not, the Packers are going to take a step back. That is going to open up the door to one of those North teams, whether it's the Vikings, the Bears, or the Lions. Now, the fact that you're getting Jared Goff, I know that he's not necessarily leading your team right now, but I don't know. I feel like the Bears may have an edge on you guys. So will they make the playoffs? I'm going to say no. I think you're a year away. Sheesh 123. Not a question, but I appreciate all the videos. Well, thanks, Sheesh 123. Appreciate that too. Bryson P0802. How open are you to a Richard Sherman reunion? I'm open to it. If the Seahawks do it, I'd be fine with it, but I'm not counting on it, nor would I be disappointed if it doesn't happen. So it's kind of a take it or leave it kind of feel. Be cool, but it would be more just because of the name and the feel good vibes, but not because I think he as a player is going to be able to contribute that much. Sad to say. John, what do you think we are missing to be a Super Bowl caliber team? I think offensively we have everything we need. Everything we need. And it's all about the coordinator putting it all together. Defensively, I feel pretty good about our safeties. The cornerback, if we have in there, if we have good corners, and again, they're unknown, so it's hard to put your money down and feel like, oh yeah, we're good because I thought we were good last year and look what happened. So, I'd say maybe we're just a big time name corner away from feeling like you could say we're lock solid Super Bowl. And, I think we lost stuff. I don't know if we've completely made up for it in the interior alignment of the defense. So I'd probably say that interior defensive line and cornerback is still question marks for me on the defensive side of the ball to be certain that we are like Super Bowl winners. But I still think we have the potential. Indian says, Norb, who do you think is the biggest threat in the West? Also, which game scares you more, Jacksonville or Green Bay? And always good team or a scary rising team? Biggest threat in the West, I'm going to say, it's obviously between the 49ers and the Rams. I had some of the guys saying the Rams are going to be in last place this year on the roundtable yesterday. I was a little shocked at that. I think I've got the Rams at second right now, and the 49ers closely behind them. So I'm going to say the Rams just because they're such a pain in our butts. And we don't know yet about the 49ers. There's big question marks there, but I think we have a much better idea of what to expect from the Rams. And Matthew Stafford's better than Jared Goff, for sure. We don't know yet about the 49ers situation. Oh, which scares me more, Jacksonville or Green Bay? It depends. If Aaron Rodgers is on Green Bay, I'd say Green Bay. Jacksonville is going to be one of those fun teams to see how good there's so many things moving in their direction. Obviously getting the number one quarterback in the draft and new coach. There's obviously a lot of hyped up potential right now. Kind of got that Cleveland Browns vibe of last year going on now. But it's still first year putting everything together. How often does so many new pieces on their first year all work? First year coach, first year quarterback. Can they put it all together in one season just like that? I think it's going to take more than that. So that's why I'd say Green Bay if Aaron Rodgers is on the team. Always scares me, especially if it's in Green Bay. MC Mets 23. What is the surprise team for the upcoming NFL season? Surprise team. The surprise team means it's going to be somebody who has not been good and is suddenly good. I think Washington. I think Washington could surprise some people out of the East. I'm going to say that Washington could be that surprise team that nobody's really talking about that much yet. Campbell's Chunky Soup. Do you think DK is going to make it to the Olympics? I don't think he's going to let's see. Well, that means he has to get I believe a below a 10.2 in the 100-meter dash to qualify. So in order to make a qualifying time, he has to get 10.2. Could he do it? He can run a 4.3. What is it? 4.33 in the 40 yards. So to get 10.2, you have to be able to basically more than double the 40. 40 is only 80% there, and it's not even 80 meters, 80 yards. I don't think he'll do it. And part of me hopes he doesn't, just so that we don't have to deal with him actually considering going to the Olympics and being a distraction. I want him to be really close and fall just short, like 10.21. Oh, sorry, you missed it by 0.01. Sorry, man. But you're really fast. That's what I'm hoping will happen. And I think that's what it's going to come down to. Let's see. Hey, what do you want? Only a few minutes left. Hello, Norb. From Arman. Hello, Norb. I hope you're having a good day. What is your all-time favorite video game? GTA. I think if I had to say goodbye to every game and only be allowed to play one, it's got to be Grand Theft Auto, which is weird because I haven't played it in months because I've been playing mostly just Madden. Mostly because I'm trying to get better at it, but I miss playing Grand Theft Auto. I think that's the game that I never get tired of playing that game because you can do so many things and decide how you're going to approach it. You can say, I'm going to do the story mode, or I'm going to go around and do this, or I'm going to do this mission, or I'm just going to drive around and kill a bunch of people. It's so easy to just do it, and the game experience can be so different. So I love that game. It'll never get old for me. Omizam says, can you say hi to me? Hi, Omizam. And have you ever heard of Warhammer 40K? That sounds really familiar, but I forget what that is. Is that a YouTuber or something? I don't know what Warhammer 40K is off the top of my head. Sorry. Go Warriors. If the Niners are healthy, are they the best team in the NFC West? I'm still going to say no, because like every team, they've lost a few things. But the big thing is it's a big quarterback question. And until you have that guy who you can really count on, I feel like that's always going to be the missing piece for every team to get deep. They're going to be good. Like I said, they're going to be tough. The defense is really solid. They got one of the better front lines on defense. But I'm not going to call them the best yet at this point. But they're going to be really good. Jam Kranos. First, I'm the John dude you just answered the question about. Didn't know you only get one question, so I grabbed my brother's account. Haha. I just want to say, I've always wanted to know, are you Filipino? If so, favorite Filipino food to eat? Seattle native, represent here. Go Hawks. Very nice, very nice. So, John, yes, I am Filipino. Kumusta? What's my favorite Filipino food? Boy, that's tough. Like I said before, I love adobo. Pancit is great, and you can never go wrong with lumpia. It's like lumpia is one of those things that you can eat a bunch of them and have a whole meal out of it, or you can just like have a quick snack and like throw down 3 of them and you're good. Kare kare is also good. Sinigang. I mean, there's so many good ones, but I'd probably just say lumpia just because it's so easy. So anytime you want it, there's never a day when it's not going to be satisfying. So lumpia is my go-to. All right, continuing from Mord. My mom asks, this is Mordrog, creator of the Norb Cord server. My mom asks, if you could eat lunch with any 3 Seahawks, dead or alive, who would they be? Whew. Marshawn Lynch, because he would be so fun, so funny. Cam Chancellor. See, I want to say Doug Baldwin because I've never actually met him, but he's Filipino too, and we have, I think, a lot we could talk about. Russell Wilson, just because it would be really cool, but I feel like I'd have a more real, deep conversation with Doug Baldwin. We can get deeper, so I'm going to say that. Cam Chancellor, Doug Baldwin, Marshawn Lynch. That would be a fun lunch. Yeah, that would be a fun lunch. And Efrain Herrera. No, just kidding. He would be funny, though. Prince Charming, what do you think about Aaron Rodgers? I talked about that a little bit already. And Alita Dahl weighs in here. Steve Largent. Oh, yeah, Steve Largent. I know. I feel like I'm leaving out the old school guys. Steve Largent, of course, Hall of Famer. Man, it's hard to pick, right? I already talked about Aaron Rodgers. I don't think it feels like he's not going to be with the Packers, but boy, where will he end up? That's the big question. And then what happens to the Packers if he leaves? They'll be in trouble. Just like the Patriots. The almighty ruler wizard. Hello, Norb. It's been a great experience being a YouTube mod and a server developer for you and your Discord server. I wanted to let you know that I'm really enjoying your videos and you're one of the most entertaining YouTuber I know. Thank you. Appreciate it. My question is, if you could choose any quarterback for the Seahawks from any team ever in the NFL, who would it be? If I could choose any quarterback for the Seahawks from any team ever, in other words, is there somebody out there better than Russell Wilson that I would want to see lead this team at greatest of all time? And arguably, Tom Brady has had the most success long time, but would he have succeeded if you just transplanted him into a Seahawks team? See, I don't think that works that way. You know, if we just swapped and said to the Bucs, hey, we'll trade you Tom Brady for Russell Wilson, would you do it? Would I be happy about that? I don't know. I don't think so. There'd be part of me thinking, okay, let's see what he can do. But there's still a part of me. I'm like so much into Russell. And I believe in Russell Wilson for the future of this team. But I'm thinking of the great quarterbacks outside of Tom Brady, Joe Montana, of course, Aaron Rodgers. I've heard people talking about the swapping Aaron Rodgers with Russell Wilson. I wouldn't do it, though. I wouldn't do it this state of things. Who are other great quarterbacks? Did I say Joe Montana? Of course, Joe Montana. Man, that's a tough one. Do I have to actually say that? I don't have to. What if I just say I'll stick with my Russell? I'm sticking with my Russell Wilson. I wouldn't want to switch with anybody, really. I would entertain the idea of what Tom Brady would look like, but really not sold that that's the answer. All right, continuing. I think we're close to the end. Hey, Norby12, familiar name. Hey, who's your hero, and can you follow me on Instagram? I'm a Hawks fan, and what's your thoughts about Richard Sherman coming back? Hey, who's your hero, and can you follow me on Instagram? Okay, who's my hero? Well, I don't think, I was talking about Richard Sherman, I don't think he's coming back. Doesn't seem to be interest on either side, really. Who's my hero? I need a hero! I'm not sure if you mean from a hero as in like a football hero or just a regular human being hero. I'm going to throw something way out there, but represent my Filipino blood. There is a figure in history, if you look back at way back time, Filipino history, there's a man by the name of Jose Rizal, who is considered a hero of the Philippines, and he led a peaceful revolution against the Spanish when they were under Spanish rule. And he did so using not the sword, not violence, but using his words and his ideology and getting people united that way. So look it up, Jose Rizal. There's actually a park in Seattle named after him, Jose Rizal Park. And he's considered, I would, you don't see much because it was such a long time ago. This we're talking like 1800s or early 1900s, and during a time when, there's not much photographs and things like that. It would be amazing to go back in time and see, a moment in time like that. So that would be it. Continuing, and Northwest Football FC YT. Oh, and Alina Dahl says, Joe Montana, let's go super old school and go Joe Namath. By the way, Norb, your hero is Chrysostomo. He's my anti-hero. Northwest Football FC. Can you sing Chug Jug with you right now? I don't know that. What's Chug Jug? I don't know that song. Sorry, I'm not with it. I don't know what Chug Jug is. Otherwise, I would if I knew what it was. I don't know it. Moto Kyle 96. I followed your Discord server today for my first time this year, and what do you predict the Seahawks record is going to be this year, Norb? And there's a lot of people in your Discord server I noticed, and go Seahawks. Thank you for joining the Discord. Appreciate that. I should mention briefly that we lost a bunch of members due to a technical little malfunction that happened, and we lost like 1,000 members. So we're trying to get all those people back. So I hope you guys will come and stay for a while. It's a very fun place to hang out at. But your question was, what my record prediction? I said earlier, 11-6 is what I'm thinking at this point. But that is subject to change, y'all. Deadly Skills wants to know, how tall am I? I'm about Russell Wilson's height. I think on the record he's like 5'10" and 5'8". I think if Russell and I stood next to each other, we'd be almost the exact same height. I think I'd have him by the hair just a little bit. My hair's thicker on top. What will be the most eagerly? From Maximus HDU3. What will be the most eagerly anticipated matchups for the Seahawks? Well, 49ers and Rams are going to be big. Really, every NFC West game is going to be huge for the Seahawks. So just count that to be the case. That those are going to be big games. But who are some of the opponents that will be of interest? Let's see. Let's take a look here. Let's put this up on the screen so everybody can see. Where is it? There we go. So at home, we're going to be playing the Cardinals, Rams, 49ers, like I said, Bears, Lions, Jaguars. That'll be interesting just because Jaguars is this new up-and-coming team with so much promise. So I think that'll be a fun game to watch. And then down here, of course, the Packers. I just, again, I'm hoping, there's a part of me that hopes that Aaron Rodgers won't be with the Packers because then we might be getting a little bit of a break. We haven't beaten Green Bay in Green Bay since the 90s, so I really hope we can get that one done. And then Steelers, that's always a challenging opponent. So, yeah, I'd say all the NFC Wests, the Jaguars, Saints too, they'll be different without Drew Brees. But yeah, Packers, Steelers, those are probably the ones that I highlight on my schedule. Steelers, Packers, Saints, Jaguars, and the NFC West. All right, next question. Getting down to nitty gritty here, folks. Oh, I think I'm to the end. Okay, I'm excited. Phantom, hey Norb, would you agree that the Seahawks' decision not to upgrade center was due to Shane Waldron's wide zone offense? Sean McVay was told that his scheme is a lineman's best friend. I also think this run game suits Rashad Penny more than Chris, but that's my opinion. I do agree that this offense is predicated on timing and being quicker with the ball. So Russell Wilson should be under less pressure if he follows the system and gets rid of the ball when he should. And so if that's the case, it puts less pressure on the offensive line to have to block. And like I said, Ethan Postic is not as bad, I think, as what people think. It's just it had a bad ending, especially in that last playoff game. So people just remember that. But it wasn't that bad. Let's see. So, yeah, I think that'll help him out, too. And then does it suit Rashad Penny versus Chris Carson? I don't know. Chris Carson is just – I love the way the dude runs. Yeah, Rashad Penny, is a little bit quicker around the edge, but – when it comes to running the ball, and Chris Carson's the most fun running back to watch since Beast Mode and Thomas Rawls. Thomas Rawls was fun until he got hurt, and then just kind of went downhill after that, unfortunately. But yeah, Chris Carson, I love the way he runs. Hopefully he can stay healthy. And they use the two of them so he can stay healthy. But I think it'll be good for both guys. I really think so. But yeah, Chris Carson's more the bruiser up the middle back, and Rashad Penny's definitely the around the edge speed guy. Hopefully still, after the knee recovery, hopefully he's still got that speed. Night says, are you making a prediction video for 2021? A prediction for 2021 music video? Yes, I am. I will be getting your guys' song requests very soon here. Armand, hey Norb, I have a song that you could use for your music video. It's Flex or Rap Star by Polo G. Okay, duly noted. And I will, again, when I put this up as a official place to put all the songs on here, make sure you guys put in your requests so I'll have an easy spot to find it all. Del Curry, what do you think of the last two Seattle Supersonics, Kevin Durant and Jeff Green, now being on the same team, the Brooklyn Nets? That's cool. Jeff Green, I don't really know so much. Everybody knows Kevin Durant. And yeah, that was probably one of the hardest things to watch, is seeing how we got Kevin Durant and then shortly thereafter we lost the team and we saw Kevin Durant do amazing stuff for the Oklahoma team. And I felt so much like we got robbed and the robber is dangling all of our stolen merchandise in front of us. Hey, look what I got, and you don't because we took it from you. Very frustrating. That's why I'm very mad at the NBA still. JV, my question is, why are the 49ers so much better than the Seahawks? They're not. They barely beat us in the division 2 years ago. They lost to us last year, and granted, 49er fans will say, that's because we were injured. We were injured. Yeah, well, not our fault. So, we always beat you when you were not injured, and we were injured. So we can all blame the injury bug, but let's not get carried away here. Seattle's been in the playoffs every year except for one. They should have been in the playoffs that year too. So it's close. Every team is very close. Okay, almost to the end here. What's the question? Getting on the way. Aaron to Denver, hopefully. Should Seattle wait for post-June first cuts and use their cap space on those players like Jason Kelce or Fletcher Cox, for example, being the best? Yeah. If moves are to be made, that's going to be the time for it to happen. Jason Kelce or Fletcher Cox, yeah, it's worth the look. Like I said, our D-line is always something to look to shore up. So if we can find some guys out there, that would be something. And finally, hey, Coach Marsh in here. He says, how do you get your hair to stay in place like the great hairdos or all time like Jimmy Johnson and our own Dan Lewis, former Como news anchor? I won't come on the next Coach's Corner if you don't answer it, especially after saying Stone is better than Walter Jones. I didn't say he was better. I said he could be the next best offensive tackle since Walter Jones. Don't put words in my mouth. What is up with this guy? How do I get my hair to stay? I must say, well, first of all, the hair product I use this LA Looks gel. Works just great for me. I'm quite proud of this hair. I cut my hair myself with my own. I bought some clippers during the pandemic, and I started watching some YouTube videos, and I've been cutting my hair since. And actually, I'm very happy with it because there's so many times I go to the hair person and I ask them to cut it a certain way, and they come out of it and I go, it took too much off the top here and didn't quite get the sides the way I wanted. Now I can just do it myself. So that's how it goes. Still going. I'm still going, and I'm over time. Oh my gosh, I'm 50 minutes over time. But one final question to answer here is, and thanks for Coach for Life, by the way, for the question and for watching. Pick Me Seahawks for Life says, my shallow idea came when you said we're losing to the Atlanta Falcons. Norb, who is likely going to be offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator of the year in Madden? Norb, you and me are like best friends. I love you as a YouTuber. Oh, man. I need to have a way of figuring out how to judge the performances by the offensive coordinators because I feel like I have a cloudy memory of things, and sometimes, you forget that somebody had an amazing coaching, connection on a certain game, but then, you, of course, Seahawks for Life, I see you every single game, and we always have usually pretty good connections, but once in a while, we don't. But, I got to figure out a good, effective way to evaluate who the coordinators are because I haven't been taking stats. I should have been taking stats this whole time. But, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. And, of course, I still need to do the 1v1, the head-to-head with some of you guys in terms of playing you directly because you guys coached me up. You've seen what I do. You know me too well of what I run. It's going to make me super easy to probably beat because you guys will know all my tendencies and everything that I've learned. You will be the teacher teaching the student, taking on the student. So we'll see how that goes, but definitely got to have some one-on-ones before the season begins here. We'll figure out the best way to do it. Okay, so it looks like I got to the end of the list. I can't believe it. That's awesome. Maybe just for fun, I'm just going to pull up. Is anybody in the chat? No, nobody's not in the chat. Nope. I think we're good. We're actually good. I'm just happy we got through everything. So that is it, guys. That was completed the list. Had to go a little bit long, but I'm okay with that. For this session of Ask Norb. It only went an hour and 15, so we're actually shorter than most feature-length films. So that's awesome. Oh, but I never did answer the question. The question of who would be the third celebrity on the deserted island. I didn't answer that one because, doggone it, I was still having a hard time with it. What did I say? I said Bear Grylls because of the survival aspect. And then I said, who did I say? Marshawn Lynch, because it'd be fun and you could play football and stuff like that. So who would be the female celebrity to be on this deserted island? Somebody who's really cool, who kind of is into the same music I'm into, so we can, like listen to our phones and like jam to stuff. That is so tricky, but I'm kind of leaning towards there was a time when I really had a crush on J-Lo back in the day, but that was way before. Now she's like, it's kind of more diva-esque, but there was a time when she would be like, woo, that would be pretty cool. But I guess for now, we'll just say J-Lo. Let's just say J-Lo. J-Lo looked pretty good in that Super Bowl halftime show, so she got it going on. Anyway, so there you go. That wraps up this one. Oh, what? Somebody else typed something? Major Hawks fan 1234. Did you hear about Jake Ellinger from the University of Texas passed away today? Oh, I did not hear that. Sorry to hear that. I'm not that familiar with Jake Ellinger. I have to look that up. But, all right. That is it, guys. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to me and send your questions on the Discord. This was a lot of fun. We'll do this again in a few weeks and look forward to your other trick questions. I'll be more prepared on some of those weird ones, like the celebrity one and things like that. Those are good, mind-bending questions. So for now, the next video will be tomorrow, where I'm planning to do a Face of the Franchise video. It's been a while, where if you recall, the last thing that happened was I did get drafted by the Seahawks, finished my collegiate career at USC, entered the draft early because I was upset that I was not going to be the number one starter. So I went to the draft, got picked up by the Seahawks, got my uniform all figured out, and I was about to start the rookie campaign. But that's where we'll pick it up tomorrow. And hopefully you guys can help me along the journey because, again, this is all doing it for the first time, and I want to make sure I do it right and get the most out of the Face of the Franchise experience. All right, that's it, guys. I'm kind of excited because I was messing around with something. I was actually talking with Coach Maraj and playing with a little. There were some misfires on the internet today that had some live streams that I didn't think you guys could see, but Tyler actually caught some screenshots of some random weird stuff that I was testing, and I want to start doing some movie watching sessions on YouTube Live, watching a movie that everybody can get to. And sort of do a live reaction of watching the movie. And I think I found a setup. I did a little test where I was able to put the movie really small behind me in the background, or not behind, but just a little thing in the back. And I was waiting for the copyright flag to kick it in, and it never did. I was like, I played 40 minutes of testing a movie playing on this tiny little thing where it's like small enough, I think, where you can still see it, but not so small, or small enough that it evaded the YouTube radar of saying this is copyright flagged, but just big enough that you can still watch the movie and see it. Obviously, can't use the sound because the sound, music, all that stuff's going to trigger it immediately. But Alina Dahl confirmed. Yep, they popped up. It's like, good thing I wasn't playing like something inappropriate. I think I was playing like Hunger Games or Taken or something like that, testing it out. But yeah, so I'm going to plan to do a few movie time sessions. Kind of like I did. I did a test one last year with that movie on Netflix. What's it called? These times, it must be age or something. I forget a certain word. Extraction. And that was fun. I only did that once. But I think now I couldn't really show the screen. I think I still got flagged anyway because of the sound. So this time I think I've got a plan. where we can do it, and it'd be kind of cool to watch, some classic movies, some Star Wars stuff, and maybe some new things, and watch them together. Get chat reactions, and maybe get even live audio chats via Discord or whatever, and actually, watch a movie together, and you can actually still see a little bit of the movie as well. That'll be fun. All right, that's it, guys. I will talk to you, Alina Doll. Yes, Star Wars. Certain Star Wars movies, because there's some that are like. But yeah, if we do that, then it'll definitely be fun to start asking people, hey, what do you want to watch next? That'll be pretty fun to do. So it's something I've been wanting to do for a while. I do have a plan. It's working. It's working. All right, I'll see you guys later. Click on one of these videos here on the screen, because you don't have to stop. Just keep watching. All right, talk to you guys later. Have a great evening, and I'll see you at Face of the Franchise tomorrow. Go Hawks.